Hello, Las Vegas. Buenos tardes. ¿Cómo está, Rolando? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. This is Face the Tribune with Chris Garcia and Rolando Larraz. Don't forget, if you have nothing to hide, if you are not a corrupted elected official, you can face the Tribune. Otherwise, the Tribune is going to face you. How do you doing today?
Oh, Lando, very good, Rolando. Very good. I'm fired up about this last debate at UNLV here in Las Vegas. Our city looks great. The campus looks great. That's my alma mater. That's why I went to school. So I'm fired up. Yes, I'm fired up. I'm fired up about it. And I think Trump is going to be, I have a feeling that these polls are going to tighten in the last 20 days to the election. I think so. I think so, Rolando. I think it's a much closer race than what they're saying. And I think that they're trying.
Of course, they always lie to their favor.
Yeah.
You know, they always do.
Yeah. I think they're trying to make it appear that the race discourage people. You're absolutely right, from coming to the polls. So get out and vote, because I think every vote, especially in Nevada, is going to count for Donald Trump and for the other Republicans down the ticket. And don't listen to those polls. Don't believe them. I think they're trying to discourage them, because I think they know they have a flawed candidate and they're worried about her. If the voter turnout is big and Republicans and the independents come out, I think she's in serious trouble. I do.
You planning to watch the debate today?
Yes, I can't wait for the debate and to discuss it tomorrow. I don't know. We got to get through this show, because I'm ready for 6 o'clock and I'm ready for the debate. Everybody watch the debate tonight, 6 o'clock. It'll be on all the major channels, cable and regular network, 6 o'clock. Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. It's the last debate. It's very important. I think that Mr. Trump has a good debate. He stays presidential.
You know, I had the feeling, or maybe I should say, I like to have the feeling that Chris Wallace is going to do a good job moderating.
I hope.
I had the feeling, if he had any respect for the memory of his father, he will honor that memory by doing a professional job.
Yes.
Because I tell you, the last two has been an insult to the intelligence of the human being.
Absolutely.
You know, it's been humiliating to see these people acting like they've been acting.
Absolutely.
It's not, it's something that it doesn't make any sense to me. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous to see growing adult acting like child. You know, either you do the job or don't do the job.
Absolutely.
But don't put your profession in a questionable position because you want to do your personal feelings interfering with your profession.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
If you don't like Donald Trump, don't be the moderator. You know, I don't think, and I tell you, whoever is in that, because they have never say who is in that committee for the debate committee, or I don't know how they call that. I think it's the debate committee, executive debate committee or something like that. Whoever is the executive committee, nobody knows.
Yeah.
They should put out the name of the executive committee.
Absolutely.
Because that way we know if they are, maybe, who knows, maybe it can be John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and Chelsea Clinton. You know, those are the people that choose the moderators.
Yeah.
And luckily, this is the first time Fox is going to do it. And even though Fox is changing a little bit.
Yes, they are.
For the worse, they they've been doing a good job.
Yeah. I don't necessarily trust Fox News, and I've watched Chris Wallace over the years on Fox. He's not his father. I think he's not. I don't know what kind of questions that they're going to ask, and they always talk about how the debate goes, and the Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are rude to each other and they're cutting each other off, but I think that the tone of the debate is set by the moderator, and I think they set the tone of the debate and the questions that they ask. I'll know immediately by the questions that he asks what kind of debate it's going to be. Is it going to be about the topics, or is it going to be about who Donald Trump kissed 10 years ago? Nobody cares, and I just hope that the job of the moderator to me is to ask the questions, to tap into the American pulse and ask the questions to both candidates and give them both fair time on what the American people want to know. The American people don't want to know who Donald Trump groped 11 years ago. We really don't care, and I really don't care who Hillary Clinton and her husband slept with 20 years ago. I want to know what they're going to do for the country going forward.
It's starting tomorrow.
And those are the kind of questions that a good moderator, give them both 2 minutes, ask them a question about foreign policy, economics.
Can we find out who picked the moderators? Can we find out it's something called committee, moderator committee or something like that. I don't remember exactly right now, but I'd like to know who picked, what is the entity, and then we're going to find out who are part of that entity. Because I tell you, I believe that people have to realize that Donald Trump, until last year, a year and a half ago, he was a private citizen.
Absolutely.
He was not in politics. He had nothing to be ashamed of in politics. Whatever he did in his personal life, that is up to him and his conscience and his priest.
I watched Megyn Kelly last night, and she just has it out for Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. I can't even watch her show anymore. I mean, it's just an hour about Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. I mean, that's why I don't even trust. I used to watch Fox all the time. I seriously am losing faith in which side they're on, because it seemed like they used to support conservatism and the Republicans, and it's just been one show after another. They spend the entire hour. The only one that does it, honestly, is Hannity. Even O'Reilly, it seems like,
he's a wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy. He's not the same. It's just, I don't know what's going on. I feel like it is to me feel like.
But Chris, maybe Bill O'Reilly, because Bill has a pretty good reputation. He's been around for a long time. Maybe he's trying to get the image of being neutral, to be even with those candidates or both parties. He put one side, put the other side. Maybe that's what it is. Hannity, we already know that he's a friend of Donald Trump, and he does do all that for Donald Trump, and but Megyn is all attacking Donald Trump.
This is the Commission of Presidential Debates.
Commission of Presidential Debate? And who are in the Commission of Presidential Debate?
Okay, who make up the Commission on the Presidential Debates? Elite group decides schedule, moderators, and candidates.
That's it.
That's all it says.
No names.
4 years, a select group of fewer than 20 people make
an elite group chooses the moderators.
Presidential debates from the schedule of how candidates qualify. That gives them an enormous amount of power over the country's elections, but most Americans have no idea who they are.
So they don't give names who this elite group is.
Can you send this to me?
Yeah. Oh,
so it's an elite group that chooses the moderators, but they don't tell you any names. Wow. Sounds like a communist country to me. What does it sound like to you, Rolando, that we don't get to find out who chooses?
They have something to hide.
It goes on to say that the Commission on Presidential Debates Board is currently chaired by Frank J. Feringoff.
Oh, he's a Republican.
And
He used
Michael
to be-
D. McCurry.
He used to be,
The Michael D. McCurry also.
Oh. Well, it's not too bad of a...
And then there's, okay, so I have a list now. Howard Buffett, John Danforth.
Is that related to Buffett, the guy from MB Energy?
I don't know. He's the Howard Buffett Foundation. He's part of the Howard
Okay.
Buffett Foundation. John Danforth, Mitchell Daniels, Charles Gibson, John Griffin.
Is that just for the Nevada?
No, this is
No, for the presidential.
presidential. For this presidential race. Every 4 years they pick new people, I guess.
But is it just for this debate that they just choose this moderator, or if they chose all of them?
Oh well, these are the guys that are in charge of these are the guys in the company that picks the moderator. That's what he asked me.
Right.
Yeah. So that's who these guys are. They are part of the. It is called Commission on Presidential Debates.
Can you email that to me?
I can.
Yeah, maybe, but it's okay because I was going to ask who the people are, but they already got the names in there, so I guess people don't know who they are, but they are there. Yeah, the chairman is from Nevada. He used to be in charge of the Hotel Association, I think it was. So it's
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's, of course, favored to one group or another, like everybody else.
I would agree with you. I would just. My dad used to always have a saying, if you're outside and they're playing fair, play fair. If they start to cheat, you play dirty. And it just, to me, when you cut on the TV and you look through these channels, they're all liberal channels. And we at least used to have Fox, where you could get a conservative viewpoint. And now it seems like they're changing. So I can understand if O'Reilly felt like he's trying to, give both points of view, but CNN and MSNBC and they don't. They're one-sided. So we need to have a conservative channel, at least one, to give our point of view because they don't play fair at all. I mean, they're just so biased toward Hillary Clinton against Trump. They don't even try and hide it.
It's the same thing with the Spanish channels. Oh my God, those are one-sided. Yeah. They not. You never watch it. You don't understand Spanish, do you?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah. I watch Univision News and all of them, and they're all for Hillary Clinton too.
I tell you, sometimes they do have a better newscaster than the American. They got more information out there. But you got guys like that guy, then what's his name? His daughter worked for Hillary Clinton, Jorge Ramos. Yeah. Oh God, he makes me sick every time. And he don't realize that the people know his story. He can hear like everybody else illegal, and he married a Cuban lady, then made him legal. And then he became an American citizen, and they got a daughter together. I forgot the daughter's name, but they are. And then after he got his paper, he divorced the Cuban lady, and that was it. I hear all this stuff that this guy talk, but I never once I hear him disclosing the fact that his daughter worked for Hillary Clinton. I don't know if she worked in the campaign only, or she used to work for her in the White House, or what the situation was, but he is one of the most despicable journalists I ever hear or seen. I don't. If you cannot be fair, you should not get a microphone, and you should not be. Now, if you are a commentarist, and if you are an opinion writer, it's a different story, But if you're a reporter, you have to report.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did that make sense to you?
Absolutely. And one thing that's worrying me, they were talking about it this morning. Donald Trump had pledged at the beginning of the election that he was hoping to either spend of his own money or raise or close to $1 billion to defeat Hillary Clinton. Then he came on last week and said, well, I've only spent $100 million. And in fact checking, they said he's only spent about $40 million. $40 million is not going to beat the liberal Democratic machine. You got to spend close to that billion, because I just cut on the TV and it's like 10-1 commercials for Hillary Clinton. Those super PACs are paying for those commercials for her against Donald Trump. And I don't care if you're an independent and you haven't made up your mind. If you see 10 attack ads against one person to every one for the other person, that's got to play on your mind. I don't care how strong-minded of a person you are. If you continue to see negative about one person, it's got to sway you one way or the other. I think the RNC ought to be ashamed of themselves for not backing this man and not spending money. He is not going to. He's a good businessman. He's not going to spend all of his money on his own election. And to me, they have not come out and fundraised for him like the super PACs and the big corporations have come out and funded Hillary Clinton. He's not been funded by his own party like she has. And it's just something weird to me about that, something going on. And
well, we already talked about that. They really don't want him to win. They don't want him to win because they have no control over him. The Republican Party, as well as any other political party, and as well as all these people that sitting in the Congress and the Senate for 30, 40, 50 years, look at what's his name, Bernie Sanders was there for what, 38 years?
Yeah.
Or 28, I don't remember. And Harry Reid has been there for 36 years. There was another guy from Florida, then it's been there 52 years, man.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Get a job.
That's right.
For Christ's sake, get a job. And this is what happened. I think the people start realizing that these people don't want Donald Trump because they cannot manipulate him, they cannot control him, Absolutely. They cannot tell him what to do, when to do it, and that's what, I don't think they're gonna be listening to the negative about Donald Trump before they go to the voting poll. I hope I'm right.
I hope not. I hope people are smart enough to see through the liberal machine and what they're trying to do. And they're trying to discourage you, and they're trying to bring up things that happened 10 and 15 years ago because they don't want to talk about the issues because they cannot win on the issues. This country is a disaster. Their foreign policy is a disaster. Immigration is a disaster. They lose on every single issue. So they want to talk about who he tried to touch 11 years ago because if you keep it on the issues, they lose every time. And I hope tonight when she tries to make it about who he touched 11 years ago, I hope he doesn't get caught up in what did your husband do, because he's going to lose that. If he sticks to the issues, he will beat her every time. Just talk about the issues.
They bring over all these sexual innuendos. All he got to say is, I already explained myself about that. I already said I'm not guilty. I'm already say then it is a lie. Let me ask you, Mr. What's the man's name? Chris
Wallace.
Chris Wallace. Why don't you ask her about Benghazi? Why don't you ask her about the emails? Why don't you ask her about all that stuff? Why don't you ask her about the Clinton Foundation? And even if the Clinton Foundation, I think that is, I don't know if maybe I'm too stupid, but I think that is immaterial right now. You know, even though it put the country, the nation, in dangers by taking money from all these countries, you know, but assuming they rip enough people, the people, then maybe, who knows, they're going to be like a Bernie Madoff, you know, they're going to end up in prison, but that's a different issue. I believe that they have to go into the, you know, safe. You cannot have an open border country because every country has to have a border. Every country has to have
Absolutely.
privacy. You know, you have to make sure that you know who is in your country.
Absolutely.
Like you want to know who is in your house. You know, it's the same thing.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Going back to the foundation thing, I just think it's a conflict of interest for you to be a political candidate or for you to be in office and have a foundation at the same time. Because if somebody donates enough to my foundation, then I believe that they'll have access to me that other Americans won't. And I think that if they donated enough to my foundation, that they could sway my votes or my opinions on things. So I think that for most political people or presidents, when they get their library or they open a foundation, is usually after they finish with politics, and then they have a foundation or a library or some sort of a business. But while you are an active candidate, to have a foundation where people are donating millions of dollars to your foundation, I'm pretty sure that they can sway your opinion. It's just, to me, an open conflict of interest. I would close the foundation or end the foundation if I'm running for president of the United States. I don't think that I would want people donating to that and thinking that they have some sort of way to get to me or something like that. And he didn't bring up the issue to Trump. The Clintons attacked him and his foundation, and that's when he started bringing up the Clinton Foundation, because they attacked him for his foundation and how much money was going to the actual causes that he was getting. So then he brought up how little of their money was going to the causes that they said. So, but like you said, that has nothing to do with it. I just think it's a conflict of interest. I think that that's something you should do when you're retired. If you want to start a foundation, you want to give speeches for $100,000, all of that's fine, but it should be when you're done. It shouldn't be when you're actively. They knew Hillary Clinton, since they've started the foundation, they've known that she wanted to be president. She was Secretary of State while the foundation was open. She's a presidential candidate in 2008 while the foundation was open. She's trying to be president right now in a month while the foundation is open. So, you know, if you're leaders around the country or you're rich people around the country, donate to the foundation and you might get access to the Clintons. So that's pay for play as far as I'm concerned. So
that's right. And I tell you, everybody knows from the beginning that she kept her family intact after she was a victim of a cheating situation, because she wants to be president. Everybody knows that every move that she made from then on is because she wants to be president. You know, so it's not a secret. You know, why she want to be president that bad? And it's not I don't think the job of president is really that easy. I don't know if I wanted to be president. Yeah, it would be nice to be called Mr. President as long as I'm in the White House and I don't have to make any decision. But let's face it, look, every president that go into the White House come out with gray hair. You know,
Obama's aged 30 years.
Yes, I mean that's one of the things that Obama said, and he's right. It's not easy to be president.
Yeah.
I guess he learned the hard way.
Yes.
You know, because now let me ask. Let's change a little bit about the presidential, and let me ask you, what do you know about the gun control and the question one about people having to register their gun? I'm not an expert on that. That's why I'm asking. I don't know if you are knowledgeable of that or not.
I'm not. I've just seen a few
Commercials,
a few politicians talk about it, a few people from the NRA. I'm not exactly sure what it all entails. I know it's just about there's parts of it where they don't want felons to be able to get, you know, guns. There's mentally ill people to be able to have access to get guns. They want background checks. But I've heard both sides. I'm not sure. I would like to look that up, question one, and see what it all entails. But you know, to me, I mean, we already have common sense gun control laws, and I just personally believe if you enforce the laws that we have, then some of these things wouldn't be happening. They're not enforcing. I mean, you got people that are getting weapons, and they're on the FBI watch list. So why don't they just enforce the laws that we have before you make new laws, to me?
Yeah, and I tell you, I believe that, you know, I get very skeptical when they use specific people to promote one issue or another one. When I see so many cops coming out and talking about Proposition 1 and say yes or say no, you know, I honestly, right now, I don't remember Al Salinas, Jose Montoya, all these people coming out. I don't remember, honestly, if they said vote yes or vote no, but I'm going to look at that tonight. Well, not tonight, because tonight is the debate, and we're going to be over there, so.
I'm going to look it up tonight, though. I'm going to do a little research on it. And that way we can, besides talking about the debate tomorrow, we can talk about question one and see what it's all about.
Yeah, because it's important that the people know the difference about one thing or another one. And it's important because I tell you, I believe, and I can be ignorant when it comes to that, I believe that the criminals don't need a background check.
No.
They're not going to go over there and say, look, I want to buy this gun because I'm going to kill somebody with that gun. You know, that is, it is ridiculous. You know, I don't believe that the criminals, I don't believe in guns, but I believe people have the right to protect themselves. Absolutely. And to protect their family. And look how many crimes are committed every day here in Las Vegas alone. Absolutely. You know, people break doors and go inside, and home invasion, and I mean, the police have lost control.
Absolutely.
Of the city.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair that they cannot have, because I tell you, my opinion is that when the government is trying to take the guns away from you, it's because they want to control you.
Absolutely.
That's the way. Look at what Fidel Castro did when he got to Havana in 1959. The first thing he did is to take the guns out of the Havana University. Havana University has more guns than the army. And he did. Guns, what do we need guns for? Well, we need guns to protect ourselves. That's what we need the guns for. When the government take the guns away from you, it's because they want to be in control. And when the government is in control, it's almost like a dictatorship. That's my way of looking at it.
You're absolutely right, Rolando. To me, common sense has just gone out the window. I mean, I think people should have a right to it's in our Constitution, it's in our Bill of Rights. We should be able to have arms and protect ourselves. And then after allowing us to protect ourselves and following the Constitution, and then after that, it's just common sense gun laws. I mean, we shouldn't have armor-piercing bullets that the public can buy. There's no need for that, because what do you want to do with armor-piercing bullets? You're a criminal. You want to do something to make sure that if SWAT or the police or anybody else tries to stop you, you're able to shoot back at them. Some of these military-style weapons that hold multiple clips, what do you need that for if you're just protecting your home or business? So that's just common sense. I think those are things that people shouldn't be able to go to a gun store or gun shop or get on the internet and buy these military style weapons. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just common sense. What does a homeowner need that for? Armor piercing bullets and military style weapons. That's just common sense, But taking away our gun rights and not having the ability to defend ourselves, you have to wonder, like you said, why would they want to do that?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
I know. And I tell you, if you own a gun and you kill somebody without a reason, without a motive, then you have to pay the consequence, and you can be charged and you can go to prison and all that stuff. If you, in my opinion, you need to be mentally capable to handle a gun.
Yes.
If you are a person, then jump and get upset right away, and because my experience with people that carry gun is they change. They act more macho.
Yeah.
They act. If you're not capable to have a gun in your waist and don't change your personality, then you are able to have a gun.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will not be able to have a gun.
Yes.
It's not
just common sense background checks on people's past and their history and their arrest records. I mean, I think if you have some sort of criminal background or you have a violent background right there, I mean, they should. I'm not saying everybody with a violent, because sometimes you change. Sometimes you can commit a crime when you're 15 or 16, and when you're 30 or 40, you're a different person.
Yeah.
So maybe those people, you should have to go through more of a background check and see what they've done with their lives lately. But those are just common sense things. But, you shouldn't have a criminal or somebody with a violent past be able to get armor-piercing bullets and stuff like that just right out the store. That doesn't make any sense. But I do believe people have a right. And our founding fathers gave them that right to protect themselves and bear arms, because you don't know if the government continues to go in this way, which to me is becoming more socialist, close to communist. If it continues to go that way, then how do we know what they're going to do to the people? They might turn on the people one day and want total control. And if you're not allowed to, let's face it, this country's had revolutions and other countries have had revolutions. And if you're not allowed to defend yourself, they can do whatever they want to do.
That's
Ask
right.
the people in Cuba.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's what happened when you leave or you open the path for a communist regime. Look what happened in Venezuela. They don't even have toilet paper. Not that they need it, because they don't have anything to eat anyway. But let's face it, I don't believe that the war is really mentally communist. You have a small group that is being influenced by some people that are able to talk you into do anything. I know people that walking here and they sell you a coat when it's 110 degrees outside. Some people are furnished with that benefit. They can talk people into do anything. And if they can create, that's what they call activists. They believe their own lies and they tell them other people, it's like, I guess that's what Obama used to do. He was an activist. He used to tell people, do this, do that. He didn't do it, but he tell people to do it, and you need to be able to have a mind of your own. It's not...
I think that one of the things that bothers me is that I think that when you are blessed enough to be in a position of authority and people put their trust in you and they vote you into office, I think that should mean something to these politicians, and I don't think it does anymore. I think that our country's been sold out. It's been sold out to larger corporations and other rich people and other politicians in other countries like China. And, I hate to hear these business people and they talk as if they were losing money when they signed NAFTA, when they signed some of these other trade agreements. They weren't. They were multi-millionaires. They weren't losing money. And to just make more money, they tried to act like, well, we have to compete with other countries around the world. And you don't understand when you do that, when you ship these jobs to India and Pakistan and Mexico, you're hurting the very people that elected you in office and put their trust in you to protect American people, to protect American jobs. And I think that's why Donald Trump has hit a chord with people, because he talks about American people. I mean, my dad always used to talk about, you can't help anybody until you get your home in order first. And I think that we have to stop trying to help everyone when you have people here starving to death, when you have people here out of work. We need to get our house in order before we help anybody else, because our house is not in order.
That's exactly why I say charity began at home.
That's right.
And I saw somebody the other day criticizing, actually I think it was a flyer, criticizing Donald Trump because he made his ties in China. Well, let me tell you, the world is made out of people that are infatuated with something else. I remember when it was a big deal. Oh, I'm going to go eat at an Italian restaurant, and I'm going to eat in that Mexican restaurant, and it got mariachis in there. And I mean, this is even in Cuba. In Cuba, before Castro, of course, people was infatuated with the exportation of other countries. Yeah. Okay, I know people then used to make clothes, used to make shirts, and then they put in the label made in the USA, because people will pay more for the USA, and I had a friend. Yeah, I can say he was a friend. He was a friend, and he had to have heart surgery. Mm-hmm. He was Mexican. He lived in Guadalajara. His neighbor was a heart surgeon. Mm-hmm. He said, I can operate you. Don't worry about it. I do a good job. He said, no, I'm going to go to Houston. Okay, you want to go to Houston? Go ahead, go to Houston. And he came over, he paid an arm and a leg in a Houston hospital for a private room, and he went on, had the surgery. He's in the bed, he opened the eyes, and his neighbor was there. And he said, wow, what are you doing in here? And he says, I operate on you.
Oh, wow.
They called that doctor in Guadalajara, Mexico, to come here to operate and a fellow Mexican.
Wow.
He didn't want to have the operation over there.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened a million times
Absolutely.
in a million different situations. You know, people are infatuated with something else. So Donald Trump, before he became a politician, he was a businessman. He was a private citizen. He go to China, he buy the ties for 49 cents and he sell it over here for $49, you know, or maybe more than that. But that is business.
Absolutely.
Because who knows, maybe he didn't even buy the ties in China. He bought them in New Jersey.
Yeah.
He bought them in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Chris Christie told me.
Yeah.
He buy the ties over here. I'm just kidding. You know, I mean, let's face it. People are that way. People pay more money for something that they think is out of most people reach.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
And it is a vanity. It's vanity.
That's
That's
exactly
all.
what it is. That's exactly what it is.
You remember? I used to buy the cigarettes in Cuba. A packet of Chesterfield used to cost me, I don't know, 45 cents, 50 cents. A packet of Cuban cigarettes, it was a dime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was my cost. If you're gonna buy it in the store, a packet Chesterfield costs you 75 cents.
Yeah.
You know, and the Chesterfield probably was not as good as I don't remember the name of any Cuban cigarettes, but you know, Regalias or something like that. You know, we are infatuated with other countries.
We are.
You know, that's what Donald Trump did.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, I don't know, it's, let's go to this Greek restaurant.
Yeah.
Half of the time they don't even like the Greek restaurant, you know.
Yeah.
It's not too many. In Detroit, it's a million Greek restaurants. I'm not that crazy about the Greek food, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You go there one day for balance it out. You know, one day you go to Mario's and eat Italian. You know, when you eat out every day, that's an excuse to go to a different. But I'd rather have a hamburger and French fries.
That's right.
You know, it's not. I don't like to eat food that I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's maybe that's a symbol of ignorance in my part, but I like to eat what I know.
Yeah.
You know.
If you want to call in and join in and talk to Rolando or myself, call in the Radio Tribune. The number is 702-983-0711. 702-983-0711. We would love to hear from you. And if you want to rent a mailbox and have a wonderful downtown address, you come to Mail by Renee, 716 South 10th Street. The number is 702-626-0716. 702-626-0716 for $10 a month. You come see CN and you can have a wonderful downtown Las Vegas address for $10 a month.
And if CN is not there, you ask for Bonbon. You know, as Bonbon is always there. You know, well, I don't know, not today. Today she's not there. But anyway, that is the thing. And don't we have a political commercial that we have to run?
Oh,
Or you're going to run it at the end of the show?
I got it scheduled already for
Oh.
55 after.
Oh, okay. 55 Astor?
Yeah, as soon as 8 more minutes.
Oh.
7 more minutes for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, she's dying to
Yes.
use the microphone. She's dying to use the microphone. She's dying to
I've
sing.
always said she should have her own show. I think
Yeah,
she should have an
I
hour
think
show because
so.
she could
She
talk
got
about
good
so
voice.
many. Oh, wonderful!
She got
voice.
good voice.
Oh, well.
Wonderful voice. About
You
everything.
can talk about makeup. You can
talk
talk
about
about,
politics.
give them a little variety to the people.
About being married to a wonderful Cuban husband. You could talk about so many things.
She married to a Cuban? Is she married to a Cuban?
Yes, she is.
Oh, man, I feel sorry for you. Married to a Cuban? Oh, my God.
I feel sorry for her.
Oh, my God.
But this is an important debate tonight, Rolando. Our friend has to do well. I'm going to cross my fingers and say my prayers, and I hope that Donald Trump just tortures her tonight because I think that it's an important debate. I think that this is the most important election of my life. I can't say that for people younger or older than me, but in my time, I see this as a crossroads, and I think we're going to go one direction or the other, and I don't think either direction that we go, this country will never
Do
be the
you
same.
think I will be saying the same thing when I get to be your age?
You got a ways to go. You got a few years to go.
I do have a ways to go. You know, like twice around the block. Oh my
But
God!
it is. Can you remember, Rolando, an election that you think was this important?
No, really.
I can't.
No, honest to God, this is not BS. This is not. It's true. It is truth. I don't remember any other election that has been so compromising and it has been so important in the people's life as this one. You know, do you remember, Sia?
No.
No. Well, you're too young to remember that. You know.
I think maybe only thing I could think of close was maybe Reagan Carter. Maybe. I think that was a change in our country.
But it wasn't that much of a commotion like it is now.
No.
You don't hear people then are not into politics talking about that. Today, you hear people that are not into politics talking about politics.
You're absolutely right.
It's been not even Obama's race.
Yeah. Ideology-wise, Reagan and Carter were so different in the direction they wanted this country to go in. They were just total opposites. Most of the candidates, the elections I've seen, even Clinton and Bush's father, even Bush and Gore, even Obama and McCain, there were differences, but Trump and Clinton are totally opposite in the direction that they want to go on immigration, on health care, they are total opposites. So this is, to me, the most your vote and the direction of the country. It's going left or right. There's no in between.
And I think it's the most corrupted election.
Yes.
It's more, election always has been about attacking the other candidate, which I think is stupid. I think people should be paying attention. What are you going to do for us? What are you going to do for the nation? That's why people need to know. They don't need to know all the dirty stuff. But it is one dirty stuff after the other one. They have a commercial about Joe Heck against Joe Heck.
Yeah.
And then they got a commercial against Catherine Cortez Masto. One after the other one. They don't even put another one in between.
Yeah.
No, it is nasty what is going on. And I don't know why people don't put that image out there and say, hey, we are tired of this bullshit,
I'll say one thing. The only thing I'm proud of is I watched all the newscasts and everybody setting up at UNLV at the Thomas and Mack. Our city looks great. The weather is fantastic, and they're talking about how much money that this is going to bring into the community for Las Vegas. And our city is just becoming it's always been an international tourist destination, but I think we are becoming a political power. I think the state of Nevada and Las Vegas, so get out and vote, because the numbers will show. And I think that it's even possible, I mean, in the future that, you're talking about electoral votes. I think that the way this state is growing and growing in political power, that we might actually eventually wind up getting more electoral votes than what we have. So, I'm proud of our city.
And I remember the days when the people in Los Angeles, only 300 miles away from, they don't even tell you the weather in Nevada, because Nevada was a taboo.
Right.
People used to come to Las Vegas and either brag about it or don't talk about it.
Right.
But it was not in between. And I think that tells you how far we've been going. But then look at now, the taxpayers are supposed to be paying for the stadium, for the casinos to benefit out of it. Yeah. And that's why, whatever anybody wants to say about Sheldon Adelson, at least he put his money where his mouth is.
Absolutely, Rolando. Yeah.
And, but Steve Wynn, John Jones, Jim Murray, all these people, they are completely out of line.
Why is that, Rolando? Is it just that Allison has more wealth, or what is it?
No, maybe he got more dignity. Maybe he feel then you got the money, you want to, if I want to buy me a car, I cannot expect the taxpayers to pay for my car. I can expect my neighbor to pay. I cannot expect then Cian give me the money for my car. And look at Steve Wynn. He wanted to raise, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I forgot, he wanted to raise the salary of his foremen, the supervisors in the casino, and what did he do? He take the money from the tips, from the dealers. He wanted to, and the people said, Steve Wynn was very generous when he used to donate money to Cancer Society or to the Lung Society. It wasn't Steve Wynn. He forced his employees to donate. And if you don't donate the amount that he think it was a good amount of money to donate every paycheck, you run out of favors in the corporation.
Right.
You run out of favors. And I don't think it should be that way. In the old days, look at Circus. They want to open Caesar's Palace, they put the money where the mouse is. I never hear of the government telling you when they can raise the price, when they can raise the price of the rooms.
Right.
The government has to worry about the taxes. Okay, that's fine. But if the room costs $10 and the tax is 8%, so you're going to pay 80 cents for the tax. So if you raise if you raise the price of the room, instead of them pay taxes on $10, you pay the rise on $20. So automatically it will raise the tax. Absolutely. But the people that live here don't have. What about the people that live on a weekly?
Right.
What about the people that live on a weekly? Do they have to suffer the tax rate? It's not good.
I'm sure it will.
Sure. Oh, they are. Definitely. Because they're going to raise the tax, the room tax.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be that way.
It shouldn't.
I know, you want to have a stadium? Put your money where your mouth is. Yeah. Look at what's his name, the guy with the Valley High golf course. Believe me, they're going to put that stadium over there where the Valley High is, because that's the way everybody else is. They do. It's a click.
Okay.
And it's a click to set
Thank you, Las Vegas, for listening. Que tenga buen día. And thank you, Rolando, for having me. And God bless America. Donald Trump, please have a great debate tonight so I can go to sleep and not take it out on my wife tonight. Thank you, Rolando, for having me.